Now, let's talk about a short squeeze. What happens with a short squeeze, whatever triggers these things, you just trigger it. The short squeeze is one of the times, when you're short selling is one of the few times in the market where you can actually lose more money than you put in. And I'm going to explain that process. This is why short selling is so dangerous. And when a short squeeze happens, you could lose unlimited amounts of money. If you watch the movie Dumb Money, you'll see how the company that went out of business, how they lost so much money. Okay, so now let's use the same scenario. You bought this $100 stock and you sold it immediately to $100. Okay, so typically what happened if the stock went down, again, you paid it, you got the money back, boom, you're good. But in the case where the stock actually goes up, and then if the stock, let's say the stock goes up to $150, well, you only made $100 on the sale. The banker is calling you saying, hey, margin call, we need that back. We need that back right away. So now what you're forced to do, you're forced to say, okay, well, that stock now is $150. I only paid $100 for it. So now I have to come up with the other $50 because I'm obligated to return it to this person. Now it's going up. So what happens is this momentum, you got people saying, hey, they're short squeezing. Let's squeeze them out. Let's squeeze them out. So they start to drive the stock price up. So let's say this stock that was once $100 now is worth $300. So now they've driven the stock up $200. They're squeezing me out of it. I'm the short seller. They're squeezing me out of it. They're forcing me to close, right? And what happened during the GameStop thing a few years ago, I don't know exactly what happened. They didn't cover in time. So as the stock was going up, they were losing money. Every time that stock went up, they were losing money because they had to cover. And what that means to cover, if that stock went up $200, in order to cover to get it back to my broker, I got to come up with the original $100 and an additional $200 so I can go back and retrieve this stock so I can return it to the broker. So that's how I close out my short. Right? So I got to settle my short. I got to close my short because if I don't, it's going to keep going. I'm going to keep losing money. I think that company ended up losing about $5 billion. Because if you imagine you're shorting millions of shares and the stock goes from 25 or whatever dollars it was up to $500 and you got millions of shares, you have to cover that. You have to cover that. And that's what a short squeeze is. A short squeeze is basically saying, hey, we're going to drive the price up because we want to squeeze you out of this short. And the way to squeeze you out of this short is for the stock to go up, because if you start losing too much money, you're going to have to cover your short and you're going to have to get out of it. All right. So that's what a short squeeze is. You're literally squeezing out that short seller. In this scenario, it would have been me. I'm not bold enough to short sell yet, but I do understand the process because